Thanks so much for dropping into Craving Crochet. I encourage you to like and subscribe so you don't miss any other tutorials. If you're new to the channel, I welcome you. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and thank you to all my new subscribers. I really appreciate you, and please like and share, and let's get on with the tutorial. Hi Crochet Cravers. Okay, we're going to start the 3 little pumpkins pattern, and I'm going to try and make one of each. One in this color, one in white, and one in the gray. And the colors are called Mango. I can't remember that one. It is called Mango, Eggshell, and Pewter. So that's a mango. And this is the yarn. It is by Red Heart with Love. And it is a 4, I believe. Yeah, medium 4 yarn, and that's the first color, the mango. So let's get started with the tutorial. Okay, so our first set of instructions is, first of all, I had started this and I forgot to hit record, and we're using a 4.25 millimeter hook, or a G hook, I believe it is. And the first set of instructions is to chain 36. So I've only done 10 here. So let's do 36 chains and then I will meet you back. Okay, so we've done the 36 chains, and row 1, it says, is the right side, and we are going to make a single crochet in second chain from hook and in each chain across to the end of the row. So the second chain is, you never count the one on the hook. That's 1 and that's 2. So you just insert into that second chain, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. That's 1. Go into the next row, next chain, do the same thing. Insert your hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. So that's 2. So we just continue this all the way to the end of the row, and at the end of the row we should have 35 stitches. So I will meet you back at the end of row 1. Okay, so I've made my 35 single crochets in the first row, and then the pattern says row 2 is we are to chain 2, and it does not count as a stitch here or throughout, and double crochet in each stitch across and turn. So I'll just start the beginning of it. So I will turn, chain 2, and this does not count as a stitch. So we make a double crochet in the first stitch, like this, pull through 2, yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull through 2. So just continue doing double crochets all the way across, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Okay, I'm back. I've completed row 2. And I did a double crochet in each stitch across on top of the single crochets. So I got a total of 35 double crochets by the end of row 2. And now row 3, it says in the pattern to chain 1 and single crochet in each stitch across. So insert it in the stitch, pull up a loop, pull through 2, and then repeat it all the way across. Pull up a stitch, pull through 2, insert, pick up the loop, pull through 2 loops, insert, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops. So just continue that till you get to the end of that row, and I'll meet you back at the end of that row, at the end of row 3. Okay, we are at the end of row 3, and I have 35 single crochets along this row, and we're on row 4 now, going on to row 4, and row 4 to row 57. So anyways, I'll start with row 4. So it's you have to repeat the last 2 rows, and what you do, I don't think I did that on camera, did I? So let me do it again so you can see what I did. Oh dear, I gotta watch out for that. So you chain 2 according to row 2, which is our double crochet row. So what we're going to do in row 4 to 57 is repeat rows 2 and 3, which is the double crochet and the single crochet, double crochet, single crochet, all the way to 57. So I was just going to start row 4 by doing the double crochets, which starts with the chain 2. Turn your work. That again, let me get some more yarn here. That does not count as a stitch. And then you continue on the row, along the row, and you make a double crochet like so. Go into the next stitch, make a double crochet, and you do this all the way across. Oops, that is not a double crochet. Let me do that again for you. Oh dear, I took everything out. So yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops, and pull through 2 loops. That's a double crochet, and then go into the next one, pull up a loop, pull through 2 loops, pull through 2 loops, one more. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next chain, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2. So we're going to do this all the way across, and then when we get to the end of row 4, we're going to do the single crochets, and then at the end of row, that would be row 5, and the end of row 6 you do the double crochets, and so on and so on and so on until you reach row 57. And I believe row 57 will end with single crochets because we're repeating row 2 and 3, row 2 and 3 from rows 4 to 57. So I will meet you back at the end of row 57. Okay, so I have finished rows 4 to 57. And the last row is row 58, and all we have to do is repeat row 2, which was the double crochet row. So I need to make 2 chains at the beginning, and then just do double crochets all the way across like so. And when you reach the end of the row, the pattern says to leave a so repeat row 2, fasten off, leaving a 16-inch tail for sewing. So what we're going to do is go along with all the double crochets and then leave the 16-inch tail, and then we're going to stuff the pumpkin. So finishing is with wrong sides facing, sew first and last rows together and turn right side out, and then with the 16-inch tail weave through ends of rows around the bottom, and I'll come back and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I finished the last row with the double crochets all the way across, and then I left myself a nice long tail as the pattern instructed, and I've already threaded my needle. And then it says this is the wrong side that's facing. It says with wrong sides facing. With wrong sides facing, sew first and last row. So we shall sew. Wrong sides facing each other. So all we do is just go along the 2 rows. First row and last row, and just weave it in, weave it together, sew it together, like so. So I guess we weave these 2 ends in, or sew them together, and you probably have to sew this side in as well. So I keep saying sew. So we sew along this edge, or probably maybe sew along this edge and then sew along this edge here, I believe. And then this is what it'll look like, and then we stuff it. Okay, so I've completed sewing the 2 ends together, and I flipped it right side out. So now I'm at the bottom edge, of the pumpkin. And what the instructions say on the pattern is to just weave through and gather up tightly. So let's see if I can get this on camera. So just go through in and out, weaving through with your yarn needle. Pull it through and gather it tightly so that it starts to kind of pucker. So it gets that pumpkin shape, kind of puckery, pumpkin-y shape. So just go in and out, weaving through along the bottom. Pull it through. And pull it tightly. And it's going to start to pucker like a pumpkin. So just carry on doing this along the bottom edge, weaving it in and out, like so. Pulling it through and pulling it tightly. And you see how it's starting to pucker? And that's what we're after. And then we're going to stuff it. So just carry on doing that till you get to the end of that. And then I'll meet you back once that's done. Okay, so I've done that. And I tried to pull it up tightly so that it kind of puckers. And I've stuffed it with fiberfill. So the next set of instructions is so I put the yarn that was on the bottom, I just weaved it through to the inside, and then I stuffed it, and then you just go along and you sew again on the top, going through, weaving through, in and out, and then pulling it through tightly so that pucker effect. So, okay, so we're going to make the stem with the black, and so what we have to do is make chain 2. So let me do a slip knot. Grab your hook and chain 2. 1, 2, okay, and then it says to work 6 single crochets in the second chain from the hook. So we just did 2 stitches, so it's this one. So we do 6 single crochets into that chain. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 single crochets, and that is round 1. And then it says round 2, single crochet in each stitch around. So just continue by making a single crochet in each of these single crochets that we've just made. So we do 6 of those, and then it also says that we might need to use a stitch marker to help us keep track of that. So let me go grab my stitch marker and I'll be right back. Okay, so I got a stitch marker, and using black yarn, oh dear, it's really hard to see. So I put the safety pin stitch marker in the first single crochet, and then I'm going to proceed to continue until I reach back to the stitch marker. And so just continue doing single crochets till you come to your stitch marker, and then I'll meet you back.